You want to talk about hair loss? Well, then you came to the right place. Hi, I'm Nick Shell, and I am good at something. I'm actually the best in the entire world on the internet, on the YouTube at one thing. I'm better than anyone else, and that is talking about hair loss in regards to psychology and pop culture and how society views hair loss. That's what I'm good at. No one else in the entire world, throughout the history of the world, is better than I am at that one particular thing. So since that's the one thing that I'm the best at, and maybe the only thing I'm good at, let's get to work. Right here, because in my version of the world, the comments from my YouTube channel, they show up usually in wildlife. I can't explain it from a scientific perspective, but I've got nearly 1,200 videos on my channel, and most of them seem to indicate that here in my version of Nashville, Tennessee, that's how it works. So I made a video yesterday called Hair Loss Cure, Lost Cause, Move On With Your Life. And Robert he and I had a discussion in which basically he was suggesting some videos that maybe challenge my worldview. He's saying, quote, I just don't think you want to go there as it sort of contradicts your worldview. And then he goes on to suggest a topic for a video, which is balding men aren't taken seriously. So I'm up for the challenge. Let's try this out. Does that contradict my worldview? Yes. The concept of balding men aren't taken seriously, I see nothing that validates that at all. I mean, I think we could just as easily say men with a full head of hair aren't taken seriously in certain regards. I made a video talking about what women are really attracted to in men, and I said women don't want to compete looks-wise with a person. I get it that attractive people are attracted to attractive people. I get that. But at the same time, I could see how a guy with a full head of hair at age 50, there's almost something you can't trust about him. He's almost too good to be true. You want someone who has lived through something, who's got some character. And oh, you know what? Starting to lose his hair? Oh, that actually makes me feel better. I think I can trust this person more. He's a real person. Oh, need an example in Hollywood? Tom Hanks. He's a believable guy. He's not too good looking. He's what, a Norwood 3? Now we're assuming he's had some kind of hair transplant. I don't know. Whether or not, either way, we could say Norwood 3. And we take him quite seriously. He's had hair loss. We could say he's balding, right? I don't know. To say either way, now it'd be one thing if it were like a romantic lead. Well, I was about to say a romantic lead, you need a guy with a full head of hair, but even Tom Hanks has been in romantic comedies like Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail. But even then, we're talking about Hollywood. I don't want to talk about Hollywood. I want to talk about the real world. I want to talk about real life here. And I'm not in Hollywood, and neither are you. So I see no proof that balding men are not taken seriously. I mean, even in the real world, I don't know, like, what, you can't get a promotion because you're bald? You can't get a date because you're bald? No, I think people who are out of touch about their baldness, who are just completely bald on top and don't shave it off on the sides, I could see how that could be out of touch, but that's like saying someone has a poor fashion sense more than anything. That's like if you're wearing, I don't know, like a truck stop t-shirt with wolves howling at the moon, and they tuck it into their jeans, or if you wear khakis along with New Balance running shoes. Like, just poor fashion sense is what that would be, but not taken seriously because you're balding. I know I just said we're not going to talk about Hollywood, but let's go to the cartoon world. Let's talk about Homer Simpson, because oh yeah, see, they drew him bald because he's an idiot and he can't be taken seriously. He's a clown. He's just a clown. And then even Krusty the Clown, who looks just like him, he's bald too. So you can't take bald men seriously. We could just as easily then use that same logic on Peter Griffin. Oh, because Peter Griffin is kind of like Homer Simpson. He's a family man that's just kind of a joke. Peter Griffin's hairline is like, he barely even has a forehead. His hairline's so low. So I just don't see any evidence. So actually, that's probably what this video is. This video is your chance to prove that balding men aren't taken seriously. Here's what I think. I think, like Robert said, he says that this contradicts my worldview, that balding men aren't taken seriously, and he's absolutely right. And I think it really does come down to worldview. It's how you see the world. Have you ever seen the movie Shallow Hal? I'm not saying it's a great movie, but when it came out, I saw it several times, and I actually really liked it. This whole concept, in case you're not familiar with Shallow Hal, starring Jack Black, in this movie, a man who, he has his standards too high for women. So he becomes hypnotized, and now he doesn't physically see what he saw before. He sees the inward beauty. So all of a sudden, these women who were physically unattractive to him before, now he sees as beautiful. And so he's so happy dating all these women who are beautiful to him now. He's so happy about this until someone brings it to his attention. Those aren't the beautiful women you think they are. And so it was all his perspective the whole time on what he saw, his worldview. And I think I can use that as an example to relate how our worldview ultimately determines how we see our own baldness. Because ultimately, check this out, get ready for this. I submit to you that the way that we perceive other men balding and what that means to them is how we perceive ourselves. Did you hear that? Did you capture that? If we go around thinking that bald man is irrelevant, he's ugly, he can't be taken seriously, if that's what you think about balding men, then naturally you're going to think that about yourself. But what if you were like me and you had my worldview, in which you look at balding men and you respect them, like, hey, he's got character, he's had to go through losing his hair, and he's still confident? That man's got something that I aspire to. I want to make sure I've got what he's got. Maybe if it means losing my hair, maybe that's what I need in my own life. See, that's my worldview. See, I don't know. I think my worldview is better than yours. Yeah, you heard me. I'm going to say it again because that's how real I am about this. I submit to you that my worldview is better than yours. It is, because in my worldview, I don't look down upon balding men. I don't think that they're worse off. I don't think that they should be taken less seriously or that they are taken less seriously. I don't see that at all. I don't see really how balding is a bad thing. I just see it as a natural thing. And like I said, if it produces more character and causes you to overcome and become more confident of a person, then I don't see the problem at all. I think if you had my worldview, you'd be better off. That's what I'm submitting to you. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm saying my worldview on that, I think, puts me in a better position as I judge the rest of the world and as I judge myself, because I can be more confident knowing that even when this all goes away, I'm still just as happy as I was before. So, yeah, I don't know. Can you come up with a rebuttal of that? Can you tell me how having a worldview in which balding men are taken less seriously is a better way to live? I think if you converted to the way I think, life would actually be better. I think my worldview is better than yours.